Like this, Democrats are fed up because of Fetterman, with their Senate colleague John Fetterman, who has called out his own party over the shutdown, but he's refusing to back down even when dealing with the ladies of The View.
Bernie Sanders said the vote was a horrific mistake. Governor Gavin Newsom called it pathetic and a surrender. Democrats had big wins last week, so you had momentum. Why give in now? Why bring a butter knife to a gunfight?
I don't need a lecture from whether it's Bernie or the governor in California. I'm trying to remind people that kinds of the extremism, we can't return to those kind of things and realize we need to find a way forward. I promise you, this isn't a political game.
Joining us now to break it down is senior writer for the Washington Examiner and Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, so he doesn't want to hear from Bernie Sanders. He also criticized Democrats who were celebrating Marjorie Taylor Greene. So he has clearly chosen a middle lane. Is he the voice that will rise to the top as Democrats are looking for a new leader?
Well, Carly, I would say in a normal world, yes, but Fetterman's point is that he's in a purple state. He can't afford just to go to the extremes like the governor of California, like the senator of Vermont or an AOC, because he has constituents in the middle, right, and left that he has to represent. And it really takes some kind of hubris for Sonny Hostin. And to answer your question, no, he can't be the leader of the party because he's certainly not extreme enough, right? He's obviously a guy who's principled and tries to go from the middle and tries to get things done.
I like Fetterman because he tries to get things done, like he said. Fetterman has common sense. I'd be the only Democrat that I would really vote for, and I really feel that Fetterman need to come over to the Republican side. He's a Democrat that makes sense. He understands the game. It's easy to say, like Bernie Sanders, keep the shutdown going, when you got millions and millions of dollars and your state is doing okay. They're not struggling like a Pennsylvania where there's real people, there's honest people. It's not struggling like all these other states, Illinois, California. He's making sense. And what he's saying is we have to make sure that people can be fed. We have to make sure that it's bigger than us. There's no way that a person that's still getting paid during during this time of the closure should be saying that the people should still be waiting. Fetterman is the man of the people. Fetterman is probably the only man that Democrats don't really want to put on, but they should because Republicans will rock with him because he's common sense. He's not an extremist. He's a guy that's in the middle. Like they said, a purple state. What does that mean? Blue and red. So I like Fetterman. He's OG. He's authentic. He's not trying to tell you this and tell you that. He's trying to get the job done. He really is for the people. Fetterman is the man that the Republicans let slip away. But he's for the people. He wants the people. Hey, the people have not been eating or they're relying on these things for 40 days. No matter what I think about this, we got to at least have the people be able to get something to eat. We got to at least have these things make sense. Hey, man, the writing's on the wall. We lost. So let's just go ahead and lick our wounds, open up the government so the people don't get affected. That's the one thing I don't like about politics. And like I said, the biggest blaring thing was these guys were still getting paid while people were so-called suffering, right? They weren't suffering. So how can you tell me that I need to wait if I'm a federal worker when you still getting paid? It's a weak deal for everybody that's in this situation that's deciding this to still get paid. But Fetterman, man, I like Fetterman. I like what he represents. He's an honest dude. He's a common sense type of Democrat. I think he's the only Democrat that Republicans like for sure.
And that's a big no-no in the Democratic Party, apparently. But for Sonny Hostin, who gets paid $2 million per year for the job of being simultaneously insufferable, condescending, and stupid on a daily basis, she's never had to worry about where her next meal is going to come from. I mean, her bank account, looks like a phone number. And for her to lecture Fetterman over reopening the government, he voted to do so 15 times. That was awkward to watch, but I think he handled it perfectly. And I think it's just patently bizarre that the ladies of The View, and let's not call them ladies, that implies class, they're upset that American service members, air traffic controllers, federal employees will finally get paid. And if I'm Fetterman, I do not go back in that show again. There is zero upside for being lectured to that way. That wasn't an interview. That was an interrogation.
Now to a woman who appears to be in a constant audition for The View. Fox News Digital revealing Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett spending over $25,000 on expenses, including luxury hotels and limos in 2025, another $50,000 on security expenses.
You know, the funny thing is about all this stuff is, like I said, Fetterman is doing his thing. He wants to work for the people. What I don't like is, I don't watch The View, but Sonny Hostin's making $2 million a year. A rich person can't talk for poor people. You can't be passionate for poor people if you're rich. I'm sorry. You can care, you can have a little bit of empathy, but you are not the leader or the speaker of the poor people. You make $2 million a year. Come on, Sonny Hostin, we gotta do this right. We gotta understand that you are not the leader of the poor. You got a lot of these people making millions and millions of dollars thinking that they speak for the poor, but they don't relate to the poor. So who cares about what you're saying, Sonny Hostin? You're doing this for likes. You're doing this for clicks. Nobody cares. What do you represent? You represent the rich. You can't speak for the people that's poor. You make $2 million. We don't see you going out there feeding the poor, doing things. You're just on TV talking your nonsense. But then that's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing about the Democrats, man. If you're not extremists, now we're going to be on your head. Aren't y'all supposed to be a part of the same party? Aren't y'all supposed to represent each other and make Fetterman look good? Now you're just trying to make him look bad because he's not thinking the way that you're thinking. That's the problem with the Democrats. They want you guys to think what they're thinking, which is starting to be extreme. Extreme, extreme, extreme. But what's extreme thinking about? Why'd you agree to the deal to feed the people? That's what he agreed to. This isn't right. This doesn't make sense. Just because you're part of a party don't mean you have to always go with their policies. But that's the problem of having a party that's so extreme and wants to give money to the insurance companies and all these people, but they say they're for the people. So how are you giving money to the people, but you say you're for the people? What are we talking about here? How do we understand this here? This is something that we have to look at and say we have a problem with the Democrats because they're not for the people. They're for the corporations who make money off of people. At least the Republicans are trying to give you things and put you in a position to make money and hold yourself accountable and say, if you broke, do something about it. But the Democrats are trying to make the people weaker because they have corporations that make money off of weak people. So I'm very surprised that Fetterman is a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? I wish he was an independent, but I get how it go. You need money for the campaigns and stuff. But I think the only Democrat that people will look at as far as common sense is Fetterman, you know? But nobody is ever going to believe Sonny Hostin is for the people. She's not. She just speaks like she is, but you make $2 million. You live probably in a great place in Beverly Hills, California, making all this money, and you're not doing nothing for the people. So stop speaking for the people. That's the crazy part, please.